Yeah, so I think we're definitely trying to aim for what we had last year. I think we had over the past few seasons we've done very well, and I think just being here, it kind of you kind of already have that benchmark from the year before and the year before that. So I think we're just gonna try to meet it and even try to exceed it with what we have. So he talks about the girls.
Yeah, we're also focusing on our long-term goals this year, a lot of like injury prevention and making sure we have a really strong team going into next year as well.
To add on to that, we have like a lot of, well, we did lose some seniors, but we do have like some new freshmen that is, they're looking like exciting, I guess you could say. So, yeah, we're just like excited about our season.
How's everyone feeling about their latest performance and going into their next one?
The last race was like a 2 mile race, like 2 weeks ago, I think. Mine was pretty good. I guess I got ninth place, but the course was like a little over 2 miles, so the time wasn't really good. But yeah.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about it. It was a good way to start the season with like a shorter race.
Yeah, I think my goal is mainly, I think, just injury prevention. I think that's a pretty good team-wide goal, too, for a lot of our athletes. Just kind of focusing on maintaining our bodies, just trying to stay healthy. And I think if we were able to do that and just kind of have high effort levels in everything that we do, I think we'll be able to have, each one of our athletes will be able to have a great season.
Yeah, I think I raced pretty good as well.
Bella Bolstad. How does it feel to place top 56% in Division 1 for your grade? How much work have you done to get to this point?
Um, it's pretty good, I guess. Well, I started doing I didn't do cross country in my freshman year. I did soccer, so I didn't really like know what to expect when I started doing track. But well, I did it a little bit in middle school, but like it was really I just like I think running is really fun sometimes, and there's like a lot of different events and like I don't know. It's like it's fun because there's different like things about it, and it's just fun to like go to different meets and like meet people through running. Yeah.
Want to join cross country.
Yeah, so cross country, obviously, there's a lot of reputation behind it of it being a very brutal, tough sport. But I think it's really one of the good things that especially draws me into cross country is that it's a very social sport. Like you kind of, even though you might not think because it's so individual that there's not a team, but we really do have a strong team. Like on our practices, you run with other people. You get to spend like 45 minutes, like 55 minutes with somebody else, with a big group of people, and you really get to know those people in that time period during our everyday practices. So I think it's really good that cross country, even though that we do put in a lot of work and we do train a lot, there's still an aspect where you could still create a team and there's still a social component to it. So you really get to meet a lot of people and kind of build a community around it. And I think that's what I really love about it.
Goals do you guys have set for yourselves?
Yeah, I think we're just like trying to work on our team. Like also, as I said before, like long term, it's not just like about this season, but like for the future as well. And yeah, we're just like working hard, putting in the days, stacking up the days, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think reiterating just the same thing with injury prevention, that's really important on our team. And also, like, I guess for a personal goal for myself, it's just kind of working on bringing down that 5K time, because that's kind of how we kind of measure things, kind of rank things on our team. So, like, for me personally, like, I've been freshman year, I ran just under sub 20. So last year, I ran sub 19. So I guess this year would be sub 18, just to kind of bring it down a minute each year. And I think that was, I worked it out with Coach Monica, and I think it's a pretty reasonable goal.
I'm just trying to get sub 16 in the 5K and raise up the younger players and inspire them.
This is a question for Christopher Wu. Do you think you will continue to run after high school?
I think with running, I think that one of the things that I love about running is that it's a lifelong sport. I think I've been doing it ever since I was pretty young, and I think I see a lot of people, like adults, even people who, as they get into their older years, they still run. It's a really good activity for in terms of your long-term health. Do I think I'm probably going to get recruited for running? Probably not, but if I'm speaking realistically here, but I think it's definitely something I'll continue to do just as kind of an activity, like a hobby, because it's definitely something that like I do that I enjoy, and I really like get a lot out of like enjoyment out of doing it every day.
This is a question for Philip Natal. Following the loss of many seniors, how will you step up for the young players?
I'll try to inspire them and, just motivate them to try their best and to get better because, you might not start out great, but as this season goes on and as the years go on, you build up your speed and you get better. So.
This question's for Emma. Being a senior, how does it feel to be a role model for all the new freshman cross-country runners that are coming into the school now?
Yeah, we have a lot of new freshmen this year, and it's really exciting, like seeing them starting out where I was like 3 years ago, and just getting to show them like the ropes of cross country and like how to build up their minutes, like do all our stretching and like strength exercise, that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun.
How do you as runners stay motivated on rainy or cold days?
Sorry, could you repeat the question real quick?
How do you guys as runners stay motivated on rainy or cold days?
So like the best thing about when it rains is that like there's like a lot of like puddles and stuff, so like you can like run through the puddles and like splash everywhere.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part of your question, but I got it now. Yeah, so on rainy and cold days, I think personally, at least for me, I enjoy running in the cold better than the like 90-degree weather that we train in during the summer. So I think those are definitely like, even though like for most sports that would be like usually call off practice, I think we do practice on days that it's rainy, and it is just kind of good to have the kind of that cooling effect of the weather. But like just kind of like getting out, training in all conditions, I think it's really good to be able to kind of, we have that, we start in the summer when it's really hot and we kind of end in the fall when it starts to get colder. So just kind of having that diverse set of weather conditions, it kind of has us prepared for anything. So like on a meet day, we're prepared. Some teams might just train in one condition. We're prepared for all conditions that might occur on meet day, and that way we're best prepared.
What's everyone's favorite memory from the Madison cross-country team?
Probably the Taco Bell house. It's a house that kind of looks like a Taco Bell, so you run there sometimes.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Phil. I've been on a lot of runs ever since my freshman year with Phil and some of the other guys that graduated there, and it's just kind of a tradition we keep passing on through our team, and hopefully it stays alive, and hopefully get to pass it on to some of our newcomers.
I really like Sunday long runs. We'll like go out early Sunday morning. You run for like an hour with like your best friends. It's a lot of fun.
Mine is probably from when we go to Vermont for a cross-country camp, and on one of our runs this year, like this, I guess it was like a wild dog was like running with us, and it like went in the car with us and it wouldn't leave, and it was really fun to play with it, although it was sad to leave, but it was fun to play with the dog while we were running.
Thank you guys so much. That's all our questions.
All right, do we have any other questions from our fellow student journalists?
My name is Bridget. What do your guys' practices look like? Like, what type of workouts do you do to prepare for the meets?
So for like every day we run like, we do our training by minutes, so like most of us run like 45 to 50 minutes every day, which is like 5 to 6 miles, or yeah. And then we like stretch after, sometimes we lift or like do like hip exercise, or like we do bands, which is kind of like mobility or activation. But for our workouts we do like for example the other day we did like a 2-mile tempo, which is kind of like, it's not like race pace, but it's not like regular run. It's like kind of, I don't know how to explain it really, but it's like kind of fast. And then we did like these on and offs, and like one of the hardest parts of our cross country like course, it's called the graveyard. So we did on and offs in there, and it was equal to like a 1K. Each loop was like a 1K, which is like 0.6 miles. So yeah, that's like an example of our workout.
All right, thank you very much. That is a wrap for cross country. All right, here we are for Fall Sports Media Day with boys soccer.
Hi, my name is Christopher Lee, and we're from Dodger Media Online.
My name's Dylan Starr.
And my name's Ron Tucker. You have started the season really strong. You recently won a very close game against 5th-ranked Westfield, and prior to that, you tied to a 7th-ranked Scotch Plains. What went into the game planning against those teams, and how did it lead to good results?
I'd say overall that we all worked hard from the start of summer. Our practice started in June, a week after school ended, and from there we've all worked fairly hard when it comes to tactics, and not only that, but conditioning and things about to compete with those high-ranked teams. Like we said from the beginning, we knew that we were a really good team. We just kind of got unnoticed by others, and we are going to prove ourselves throughout the season. This was just not only one statement that we made, but it's going to continue to be like that for not just this game, but for the rest of the season.
I think last year we had a really good season, and we didn't really get a lot of recognition for quite the great season we had. And going into the season, this game was sort of like a tone setter, and we knew that we had to win this in order to get the recognition that we really wanted.
Follow-up question. How will you guys use these games to game plan against other opponents that may be even tougher?
I think we had a couple great games, and I think using the same mentality and going into every game the same way, I think we'll play very good teams throughout the season, maybe even Del Barton or Chatham, and I think if we go in with the same intensity and same mindset, I think we'll have a great game against each team.
I think that something that we always say is that we know we're better, if not the same as the teams that we play against, no matter who they are. We know, like Cal just mentioned, Omaha's a nationally ranked team throughout the country. But we know that on our best day, we are better than them. And that's not something that we doubt. That's something that we say in the locker room to our players and to each other because we know we are and we can beat them. So to us, it's nothing special. It's just another game sometimes, and we just got to keep that mentality.
I think part of what's important is playing up to the level that we know that we can play at. And part of our hardest games are going to be the games against the teams that we might not think are the best teams, and we just need to maintain the quality of play that we play against both Del Barton and then also a conference team that we play that might not be as talented on paper as them.
Thank you.
All right, this question's for Guy. Guy, obviously you are out right now with an injury. How eager are you to get back out there and compete with your teammates again? And how far along are you currently with rehab?
I think that it's the biggest thing that I want to do right now. I'd give everything that I can to get back on the field and play with these guys again. And it's just a matter of time for me to gain back. I've been doing everything that I can. I got my surgery in Brazil with the best doctors that I could find. And now I'm doing physical therapy here with the best PT that I could find. And I'm doing everything that I can to get back on the field with these guys. I'm on week 5. I partially for those that don't know. I'm going week 5 and I'm fairly ahead of schedule. So it's just now a matter of time of getting back into the flow of things and stuff like that. It just depends on how hard I keep on working. And to me and to our coaches and to everyone that's on the team, I think that I'm doing pretty well in doing so. I'm going as hard as I can to just get back as soon as possible and celebrate the good wins that these guys are having with them on the field and not just on the sidelines.
And a follow-up is, how have you been able to contribute thus far to the team while being out?
If you watched our games, I think I just looked like a crazy guy running up and down the sideline. Excuse that. Behind our bench, if you see, I just run up and down, worried on how the game's going, and I'm on the lookout working with the coaches to see any patterns that I might notice and able to help the players on the field. And I think this injury hasn't only helped me become a better player because I get to see things from an outside perspective, but a better person as well, to have more patience with others on the field, because sometimes when you're on the field, your emotions are adding up in the adrenaline, and this has taught me how to become not only a better leader, but a better sport in general, yeah. So that's how I've been able to contribute.
All right, thank you.
You guys had a great roster last year with a few key seniors. For example, Matt Munoz, who broke the school record in goals forced. How were you able to adjust and maintain at a competitive level of play after losing a key player like that and many more?
I think every year, obviously every school loses their seniors, and we had a great few seniors that were with us that year, and we did very well with them, but I think a lot of people in our class especially have stepped up, and also younger classes, so I think that's just built our team throughout the summer and then throughout this start of the season.
While we may have lost a lot of seniors, our depth last year, which may have gone unnoticed because we had such talented seniors, was ridiculous last year. And players like Justin Macrina, who may not have shown out last year, are stepping up this year into roles like Matt Munoz's role and filling in really well. So
I think they pretty much said it. I don't want to repeat what they just said, but yeah, we had a great squad last year, no matter what. Some seniors are going to get graduated, and some guys have to step up to those spots that go away. And I think we have those sort of guys. And that's just about it.
Follow-up question. How are you three as seniors/captains able to grow into the role of leaders on the team to maybe go even farther than you did last year?
I can start us off with that. Me, Andrew, and Cal have both been on the team since our freshman years. And I think growing up with the team, we had not only seen a change over time, but also we've seen the ups and downs of everything, and having such a high of a season last year, being the best season we had in school history. I think we've all learned from all the experiences that we had, and we're able to teach that to the younger generation that's coming in and the ones that's currently going into varsity to JV and all of that. I think we're able to step up and be able to teach them the things that we've learned throughout our years on varsity.
I think we also have a lot of seniors who are leaders in their own. You don't have to be a captain to be a leader, so you're able to have other kids lift other kids, even if they're a senior talking to a sophomore or a junior or a freshman on our team. And I think that just like really builds the team chemistry because it's not coming from one person, it's coming from most of the seniors and upperclassmen.
I think something that's unique about what we do at MHS for soccer is we start almost like the day after school ends, and we're practicing the entire summer. So you're almost building a sense of leadership within the team 4 days a week throughout the entire summer. So these kids get used to you being a leader, and you get used to filling in the role of the leader that you didn't have last year. So,
Thank you.
This one's for both Andrew and Guy. You guys have been both varsity athletes on the soccer team for 4 years of high school. Now that is your last year. How do you feel you two have grown as players over the last 4 years?
well, I think watching seniors pass, I've been able to see like characteristics of a leader that I would want to be and almost build off that and use that in order to develop this team into what we want to be, especially with the start of the season that we've had, whether it's helping freshmen with confidence or helping, because we've got a lot of underclassmen on the team this year that are going to have to step into big roles. So,
to build on what Andrew just said, I feel like a lot of it has come not only from the team itself, but the coach as well. Our coach, Richard Vasquez, has helped me a lot to become a better, not only player, but a better person. I've been through a lot with the team, whether it be a grade junior to an injury that's keeping me off the field. And I think Coach Vasquez has helped me not only deal with everything that I've been through in the team, but also help me build off of it and become a better person, leader, player, whatever it needs to be on and off.
Thank you.
This one's for Cal. You were named All-State goalkeeper last season. Does that add any pressure to a position that's already under constant pressure?
It was a great honor to be named All-State, and I really owe it all to my defense last year. There was a lot of kids who did a lot for me, and I just think there's not a ton of pressure being that kind of person, but I mean, I think it'll be great to see what happens this year.
And as the goalkeeper, how does your training differ from your teammates?
I just think it's mostly with my backup and other backup who will be with me most of the practice. And we also have a goalkeeping coach, so we'll do certain drills for goalkeepers for most of the practice and get shots with the team. So we're mostly with the team for most of the time.
And lastly, for everyone, what are your goals as a team, and how do you plan to stay focused and committed to achieving them?
The main goal that we set it from the beginning of the season is to win the state title. I think last year we all know that the way that our season ended wasn't what we were expecting. From our loss to Del Barton in the county final to our loss in the semifinals to Harrison, we both, all three of us were pretty devastated by it because we knew we could have done better. And this year we are going to do better. And it's not a goal, it's what's going to happen. I feel like we all have the mentality, the team, and everything that we need to do it. We just have to keep showing up, keep doing what we're doing, and make sure that we stay healthy. And that's the main reasons.
one of our mantras as a team is to go into every game as if we're 0-0 and as if it's our last game. So going into each game as if it's the only game of the season really helps us focus on that game at hand and not get like distracted by things ahead like a state championship. So
That's all our questions. Thank you.
Do we have any questions from any of our other student journalists? Okay, thank you very much. That's a wrap for boys soccer.
How does it practice?